Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a little visitor today, just for a little bit. Say hi. Hi. No? Okay. So today's video is going to be, I know I've done a lot of talking videos. I do have some reviews and tutorials coming up. It just takes me a while to get them to be filmed and edited with this little dude. And talking videos are a lot easier. And I want to keep putting videos up so I don't get, bored. Whatever. Anyways, today's video is going to be challenges, not challenges, but things that I face as a young mom, a new mom, just a mom in general. So that's why I have a little visitor in the beginning of my video. He's just a faucet now. He just comes right out. It's gross. See? See? Look at that. Look at that. What the heck? Say hi. Hi. All right. So we'll go ahead and get into that video right now. All right, let's get into it. If you notice, I'm kind of filming a little different, not like my window shades kind of, and not a blank wall on my couch. I'm slowly setting up my vanity, so I'm sitting on the chair. One of the challenges that I face as a new mom is always kind of being doubted. And what I mean by that is, what I mean is when I go to, the first few times I would go to the doctors with him, they would speak to me like I was a child. Like they would just kind of like speak down to me, just the tone of their voices. So I would ask them like legit questions, and I would be treated like, oh, she's just another kid that had a baby. When I mean, I'm not really a kid. I mean, I'm 20. I was 21 when I had him, so at least. But that was one of the things. When he was born, I changed doctors like no tomorrow until I found one that actually treated me like a parent and an adult rather than a child. But you're gonna get doubted a lot. You're gonna get doubted a lot when you just look young, and you are young and you have a baby, because they just automatically assume you're younger than you are. They'll just always doubt you, I feel like, especially older people. One of the other challenges that I do face is, I wouldn't say necessarily it's a challenge or just something that I have figured out on my own, is like breastfeeding in a way. And when I had him, I had the worst time getting him latched, and it wasn't him, it was me. The only problem that he had was that whenever he would latch, he would lock his jaw. So when he would have a poor latch, I couldn't get him. It was hard for me to get him to unlatch and relatch again. But what I was doing was I wasn't letting him open his mouth wide enough. And one of the key things is that their lips have to be kind of puckered under the nipple, and his lip would curl in and it would be painful. So that was one of the things that I had trouble. And when you have a baby and you breastfeed, your milk doesn't come in right away. It's just like this clear, sugary type of the milk, and that's what they eat. And their stomachs are so small that a few sucks is fine for them. But he wasn't latching, where he lost some of his baby weight in the hospital, so they were kind of concerned. It's normal. They just kind of wanted to let me know, like, this is what's happening. I had one really bad nurse at the end while we were packing and leaving, and the pediatric came to like check on him, make sure he's good to go. She kind of helped me latch, and I got him to latch really well with her help. And she gave me some pointers. She stood there while he ate the entire time, talking to me. I burped him, and he fell asleep, and she reassured me all this stuff, and we were on our way waiting for my husband to come back and get us. And I had a nurse coming in, and she's like, well, oh, I thought you left. And I was like, oh, because they wanted me to stay. They suggested maybe I should stay for another night, but I knew that he would be fine, so staying was pointless, and I was tired of being in the hospital. So she came in, and she's like, oh, I thought you were going. And I told her, like, oh yeah, my husband's just packing up the car with all of our bags and stuff, and he's coming back up to get us. And then she was like, oh, well, why is the baby sleeping again? And then I kind of looked at her like, what? Kind of like, excuse me? And she was like, he needs to be eating. And I was like, well, the pediatric the pediatrician was just in here, and she was with me while I was feeding him and all that good stuff, and she said he was fine. You know, she was here while he was sleeping, and she's like, no, he shouldn't be feeding. And she tried to like grab him in my boob. And I kind of like pushed her off, and I was like, no, he's fine. He just ate not even 5 minutes ago. You missed the doctor like 2 minutes before. And she threw like a fit, and I was like, no, he's fine. I don't need your help. And I kind of gave her attitude, and she's like, fine, whatever, and walked out. And I feel like she did that just because she thought that she thought that I didn't think I knew what I was doing, or didn't know what I was doing at all. And I mean, I'll admit that breastfeeding was hard for me to catch on and learn, but for having, like, you're a nurse. There's a reason why you're a nurse. So don't tell me, you know, the doctor just told me he's fine and what to do, and then you're gonna come at me like that. Like, no. So that was one of the issues I had about breastfeeding. He ended up doing really well. He knows the difference between a bottle and a boob. He always prefers a boob, so I hardly ever pump unless I know we're going somewhere. Then I pump, because then it's just easier if like we're in the car, or like I'm trying to get things done, like shop. I can just give him a bottle rather than stopping and pulling out my boob to feed him, because I am one of those people who just pulls it out and feeds him anywhere. I don't really care. So if I'm on the go, I just give him a bottle. If I know like I could take my time, I'll stop and feed him, but for the most part, I'm always trying to get in and out. So he gets maybe a bottle once every like 2 weeks. Like I have a bottle right now. I always have one bottle in the refrigerator, so he has one. But if I wanted to, I can probably have like months and months of storage, and I really should, but it's a lot of work. So yeah, and I feel like with what comes with breastfeeding is judgment, as in like how comfortable you are. Also, it comes with, I know people, not everybody can produce milk, and it's a struggle with some people, or you know, they just can't do it with their schedules, or they have another little one, it's kind of difficult. So you know, they formula feed, and then they still get crap from people like, why do you formula feed? You know, breast milk is better, when sometimes people physically can't produce milk, and why they're still feeding their child. At least the baby's not starving. And little do they know, like, they get vitamins. So what my son gets is he gets vitamins that I have to give him once a day, and it just gives him vitamins that the very few vitamins breast milk doesn't get. But what his doctor said, that if he were to formula feed, then he would be prescribing him vitamins that breast milk gave. So it's kind of like they're not missing out, and they're still healthy. So people just like to judge. Other little things that I face as a young mom is people expect me to pop one out right away. As much as I really want another baby, I cannot do another one right now. Our plan is to wait until the baby is between 3 to 5 years old to have another baby. And the reason for that is because I don't want him to feel neglected. I don't want him to feel like he had to share the spotlight. I want to see him in these prime years and focus on him. And by the time, you know, we have a baby, he'll be a little bit more independent, where he can speak and walk and grab the things he needs. Rather than, you know, how he is right now, where he's still learning to talk and he can't do everything, like, you know, potty train, all that good stuff. I feel like around 3 to 5 is where they're a good age, and it's a good age gap, because then they'll still have somebody to play with. I hope 3, just because, you know, my niece was 6 when he was born. Yeah, she's 6. 6 when he was born, and she really wants to play with him, but he's still too young. So I feel like 3 years is a good age gap, so then he can still play with somebody and won't be so alone. But yeah, and that is one thing that oh, when's the next one? Like, let me just enjoy this one right here in my arms. The next thing that I've noticed is people, and I say people because people will get offended, they automatically assume that because you are young and it's a first baby, that you constantly need help and that you can't do it, basically. So they want to take over. And I disagree with that 100%. Just because I'm young doesn't mean that I don't know what I'm doing. I've always been around babies since I can remember. I've always loved babies. the beginning of motherhood came hard for me just because I feel like it was the hormone adjustments and breastfeeding. It was hard and it was painful for a while, and now it's just it just comes easy. Like it's my first instinct. It's just mom. And there's some rough nights or weeks like we've been going through with his sleep schedule and his neediness. Like right now I can hear him and he's fussing for me, but that's probably the most we've kind of dealt with is this little phase he's going through. But never think that I can't raise my own child. I could do probably, if you think that you can raise my child better than me, then I could probably do a better job than raising my child, and probably yours if you have any. I just feel like everyone's parenting is different, and if you're sitting there thinking like, oh well, it's basically like, when I say people, it's family. Let's be real. And I feel like people think that another issue, it kind of goes hand in hand, is when a baby is born in certain families, they automatically think that they are entitled to them, which means raising them. And I understand that people have different, backgrounds, and everybody raised that child and they pass them around. But I look at them now. Most of the people that I know about that, they're just, I feel, how do I say this correctly without being mean? I feel like people try to push their parenting ways on you when you're young because they automatically think you don't know what you're doing, and they don't really want to see what you're doing. And in my problem, I feel like they're afraid that I'm going to do better. And that's probably true. I'll admit that. I will probably be doing better than you. But when people say things like that or act upon that, like, oh, well, so-and-so is my family, I am entitled to him, and I can, I need to watch him. He needs to be around me all the time. Like, no, he doesn't. He needs to be around his mother all the time, and his dad, mainly his mother. So you're not raising him, and I see it a lot, not just with my family, but like I see it like on blogs and social media, that I've seen it recently because I've had the same problem recently, but a lot of people's family believe that, it takes a village to raise a baby. And I understand what that means, but I don't want a village to raise a child. I just want me and his father, and that's fine. And if I reach out to have somebody to help me with something, then that's what I choose to do. But if I don't reach out to you, I don't need you. And right now, I'm only reaching out to a few people on my side of the family. On his side, I'm not reaching out to anybody. That's it. We're done. So yeah, that's the issue that I face a lot, and I see a lot. Like I've been kind of just seeing if people are going through what I've been through, and it's actually pretty common. So yeah, you can raise your own child. You can do it. I mean, everybody's gonna struggle at one point, I feel like, and sometimes it's okay to reach out for help. But right now, if you think you can do it without any help, you do it. And as long as that baby is fed and healthy and is smiling and is loved and clothed, you're doing a good job. Another thing is what I'm facing, and I don't know if it's really necessarily a problem, but as a young person, we have friends, and people want to go out, or not even go out, hang out. And a lot of my friends have kids, so they understand, like, I always bring my baby when we kind of hang out and stuff, and this doesn't matter. But we've started to slowly see if we can do a night out by ourselves and leave him with my sister, because that's the only person I would leave him with right now, at night at least. And I don't know if I can mentally and physically do it. Like, I want to, but I don't think I can get my body to move and leave the house without him. And it's scary. And I don't know if people who are like older go through it. But part of me is like, yeah, you deserve a night out and relax. And the other part of me thinks, like, I can't be without him for more than like 10 minutes without calling. Like, no. He's like attached to my hip, and he may bug the hell out of me sometimes, but he's like attached to my hip. So I don't know how to get over this hump. I'm hoping it just kind of fades away the older he gets. I just can't picture a day without him, or even like more than an hour without him. Because, you know, sometimes I go to Target, and I love Target, and I take about an hour in there without him when his dad's home. So going out, and imagining not having him with me or going home to him in an hour is insane. Like, I can't even picture that. Like, ugh, how do moms go out every weekend and leave their kids, or not even weekend, just a couple times a month? Like, I can't do that. Like, I've seen people on my Instagram, like, their babies are like a month and they go out, or they get fucked up, and it's like, how can you leave your kid? Like, going to work is a completely different thing, but going out is insane. It's insane. Maybe I'm just crazy. I mean, I am crazy, but whatever. So yeah, those are my little challenges that I'm facing right now. I'm sure people face the same problems, or just, you know, issues or thoughts that I go through, but I decided to do a little quick what goes through my mind right now. He's 4 months, so this is the things that I have felt and, you know, been treated and gone through have been the same since he was born. I don't know if there will be any more the older he gets. I don't know. We're kind of going as we go. But he does have his 4-month-old appointment tomorrow. Babe was getting shots. So, well, tomorrow, I don't know when this video is coming up, but Thursday. He has an appointment on Thursday. So this doctor that he has, I love. He just treats me and my husband like we know what we're doing. And what I love too is he always sits me down right before and kind of is like, you're doing a good job. If you're sitting here thinking you're not, you're doing a good job. And it reassures that a stranger can look at you and tell you that, because a family can tell you that, and, you know, it's different. But when a stranger you see every 2 months is like, you're doing okay, it reassures me mentally that, okay, I got this, like, I can do it. So yeah, until next video, hopefully it'll be another one that hopefully it's not one where I'm talking in, because I'm tired of talking. I'm debating on whether to dye my hair or not. Maybe that'll be a video. I have been doing a couple things with my hair and then playing with different makeup looks. So hopefully I can get those up soon. It is going to be a little busy weekend this week for me. These next 2 weeks are busy. For a mom, you think that I would be like nothing, but no, I'm not. Busy. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe and share on every little thing that you guys have. Please. I know you guys want to see my cute son more often. So do it. See you guys later.